told you I would be back in the studio this week, and I'm here on a Monday, #1 show, kicking you your Alabama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Happy to be here with all of you. We bring you the show live from the Magic City of Birmingham, streaming this to you through YouTube. Speaking of the channel, you know what time it is. You tap that subscribe button right now. Get locked on, get hooked on, get locked in to your #1 show for Bama football. Hit that subscribe button. Tap the like button as well. Run those likes up. Give us a thumbs up right there on the show. We appreciate you guys. That daily super chat goal, $100. Daily super chat goal, $100 right there. We appreciate the love from all of you. Got my man Eli the Wonder Man Walker back in the studio, holding this thing down in the production room here. We definitely want to hear from you guys tonight. You do that by calling 205-448-1358, number to call in to let your voice be made known on the show. Below the phone lines, I want to hear from all of you. 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. Eli, so much has happened since last week. I mean, Kalen DeBoer has been putting together a coaching staff, striking hot in the portal. So much is going on. So much news is taking place. It was time to give this to the people. So we start this off, Eli, with Kalen DeBoer in the transfer portal, getting some names here for Alabama. I know you as Crimson Tide fans have been wondering, when is something positive going to happen in the portal for us, for Alabama football? We've seen several guys leave Alabama to go elsewhere via the portal, whether that's Julian Sand, 5-star quarterback, whether that's King of Downs, a former 5-star defensive back who had an incredible freshman season, whether that's Isaiah Bond, who went to Texas. We've seen guys leave Alabama via the transfer portal. And so for us, it's been, when will good news come, right? When will positive news come for Alabama when you get down to the transfer portal? Well, Kalen DeBoer has struck fire 3 times in the portal, getting 3 names to come to Alabama from his recent coaching stop, that being the University of Washington, the Huskies. So these 3 names are on screen. He has brought in quarterback Austin Mack from the portal from Washington. He's brought in offensive lineman Parker Brailsford from Washington, and he's brought in wide receiver Gurmy Bernard from Washington as well. So big gets here for Kalen DeBoer from the Huskies to the Crimson Tide. So starting this off with Austin Mack, this makes the quarterback room for Alabama very intriguing, right? Because you basically lose one California kid in Julian Sand, but you pick up another California kid in Austin Mack. Mack Mack played his high school ball at Folsom High School, in California. So here's a young man that graduated school a year early to enroll at the University of Washington at 17 years of age. If an injury were to have happened to Michael Penix Jr. this past season, Austin Mack would have been the immediate backup quarterback, or the immediate starting quarterback for the Huskies, as he was the backup to Michael Penix. So what's crazy is Brock Hewart, who from Seattle, Washington, played quarterback for the Huskies, had 2 stints with the Seattle Seahawks in the National Football League, and is now a commentator/analyst. He was on the Next Round show, and he talked about, I know how Alabama fans are crazy about Julian Sand, and I know how sad Alabama fans are to lose Sand. But he said, people, I promise you, when you look at Austin Mack, when this guy steps into the room, his presence is enormous. When you watch him throw the football, when you watch him make plays, this kid has a unique, massive upside. You don't just say certain things about people or give people certain accolades or certain praises unless you believe that. And so here's Brock Heward really seeing big things here for Austin Mack. This young man is 6'6", 230 pounds plus. Picture, and this is going back to Brock Heward, picture Cam Newton with better passing mechanics. And there's Austin Mack. Cam Newton, better passing mechanics. Question's going to be, though, who takes this quarterback spot here in spring ball? Because you got Jalen Milroe, the incumbent starter back. You've got Ty Simpson, you got Dylan Larnigan, and now you add Austin Mack to an offense with Kalen DeBoer and offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb. So that's going to be fun to watch right there. But you have Austin Mack. Then you bring in an elite athletic center and Parker Brailsford and Parker Brailsford. Brailsford, this is really big because after what we saw with Seth McLaughlin last season with the bad snaps, with the off timing, and a lot of the struggles he had, bringing in a veteran athletic center from Washington, this is huge. Brailsford helped the Huskies win the Joe Moore Award this past season for the nation's top offensive line. Here's a young man that played all 15 games a season ago, 13 starts at center, a young man who only allowed 1 sack a season ago. Shifty, athletic, snaps the ball very well, a guy that can truly play the position at a very high level. And I remember when DeBoer was at Washington, he mentioned Brailsford as pound for pound the best player, or pound for pound one of the best players on the team. So having this young man commit to the Crimson Tide from the portal, you got a center. You got a real deal center in Tuscaloosa. And then last but not least, Gurmy Bernard. This replaces what you lost in Isaiah Bond hitting the portal. Bernard gives you electricity as a wide receiver, running back, and return specialist. He can do it all. Did it all at Washington this past season, and then prior to Washington, he spent a year at Michigan State where he, was a wide receiver, caught passes as a running back, and he also did some things in the return game as well. So you're getting what you lost in Isaiah Bond back with Gurmy Bernard. So this is big for Kalen DeBoer. You lost some guys to the portal, but you're able to strike in the portal, getting 3 pivotal guys from Washington, and a quarterback in Austin Mack, a receiver in Gurmy Bernard, and an offensive lineman, a legit center in Parker Brailsford. So big there for Alabama and Kalen DeBoer. We're going to go to our first break here on the show. Don't touch that dial. We're just getting you started here. When we get back, we go to the phone lines. Blow us up. Line us up. We want to hear from you. I'm back in the studio, and I want to talk to the Bama family right after this.
Touchdown Alabama is a fully independent outlet that covers all things Alabama football. Founded in 2007 when Nick Saban arrived, we have been here through the entire Nick Saban era. In this new era, now is the perfect time to stay up to date on everything Alabama football and know what's going on, including everything that's going on with recruiting. Our website at touchdownalabama.com will always keep you in the know on everything that's going on with the Crimson Tide, and you can also get breaking news notifications with our app. We have over 100,000 followers on Facebook, over 60,000 on Twitter, nearly 30,000 on Instagram, over 30,000 on TikTok, and we're constantly growing. Also, be sure to become a part of this rapidly growing venture and subscribe to touchdownalabama.com to get inside and premium information on the team as well as recruiting inside the state of Alabama. We are constantly adding to our premium subscription package, so be sure to lock in now.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion and Ordering is easy. Visit Emily'sHeirloomPoundCakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at Emily'sHeirloomPoundCakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
All right, Bama Nation, we're back rocking and rolling to you or with you to the action from the break on a Monday. Hottest show on the streets, we're talking your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Gotta show some love to the Montana! The Montana with that 4.99 in the Super Chats. The Montana helping us out on the show. He also had a question about Gurmy Bernardi and I. So Bernard, this is his junior year coming up. Bernard last year was a sophomore year at Washington, had 34 catches, 419 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns. At Michigan State, prior to transferring to Washington, had success there as a wide receiver also. So he's played in the Big Ten, he's played in the Pac-12, and now he's joining the Southeastern Conference where Alabama football is concerned. Once again, he gives you explosiveness from a wide receiver standpoint, can do some things as a running back if you were to put him there, and then also from the kickoff return, punt return aspect, you can use him there as well. But we go to the phone lines to grab your calls. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. The number to call in, 205-448-1358. You're live on the show. What's happening, how we feeling, state your name, and where you calling from?
Hey, Stephen, this is Mike from Kentucky. What's going on, my brother?
Doing good, Mike, doing good. But man, it looks like Bama's reeling in Ryan Williams, Mike. Looks like Ryan Williams is coming in here.
Well, that'd be a good plus. That'd be a good plus for sure. You know, I watched a couple games on Julian Sand, and I guess I didn't watch the right game. I really wasn't overly impressed with him. I didn't think he was better than Bryce Young. I didn't, and I'm being honest. But then I heard the other day from a pundit on the airways that Carlsbad beat Martyr Day 43-13, so he might have been pretty damn good.
He might have been Mike, and I know for him he would have loved to have played under Coach Saban, but Alabama does bring in Austin Mack, who played at Folsom High School in California. I know he played against the competition in the Northern California region. Still tough competition no matter how you slice it. So spring ball in this quarterback room is going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited about this new quarterback from Washington. I've watched a little bit of film on him. For a big guy, he's got one hell of a fast release. And there ain't no doubt this kid's going to see the field. I'm excited about him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he can run. He can step up in the pocket. He can move around. He can throw it. He can anticipate it. Very, very high confidence, too.
Yeah, I heard another pundit on the airways saying that by the time he's a junior, he may be the number one best prospect for the NFL. He's got that kind of potential because he's got the measurables, to play pro ball. So, I guess we're going to be okay, man. I'm good with it. I know we're going to be needing a kicker. Have you heard anything about the kicking game? We got any good kickers coming in?
Two are already here, Mike. So two. You got Connor Talty, who Bama brought in the 2023 class, and Connor Talty was one that Will Riker took under his wing and taught him some things. You got Connor Talty, and then you got Upton Belafont. I think Belafont came in the 2022 class, if I'm not mistaken, but those are your two, Talty and Belafont. I think Talty could get the job, though.
Yeah. I mean, what have you heard about Saban's role? I heard he still has an office on campus. Is he
office on campus,
helping out in recruiting, or?
I think he's serving more so in a CEO advisory role. That's what it is, CEO advisory. He's helping out in recruiting. He's helping to kind of mentor Kalen DeBoer and navigating the program and kind of navigating the SEC. think Saban is also serving as a guy that players can still come up and talk to, but definitely recruiting. So kind of CEO advisory.
Okay, well, that's cool, I guess. I mean, Spurrier tried that. I don't know how good it worked out for him, but, I mean, this DeBoer guy, he sounds like, I've heard him speak a few times. I'm ready to start a new dynasty, I guess. There ain't no use in looking back, man. Roll Tide, y'all.
Absolutely. Mike from Kentucky calling in, getting us started on Monday. We're going to grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening, how we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Stephen. It's Daniel from Phoenix City. How are you?
Doing good, Daniel. Doing great. How about yourself?
Man, hanging in there like always. I got a few things. I haven't been able to listen to the show in a few weeks. So on Friday, the thing that was saying, that kind of really, some people said it wasn't a surprise. To me, it was kind of a surprise, but whether or not it's true what I'd heard, I guess he didn't want him to, I don't know if he was leaving anyways. That's why they brought in Mac, but I heard that he kind of got a little upset about that. That's why I left. Either way, it don't matter. Mac seems like a great guy. With Milroe, Lonergan, and Simpson there, I mean, I think we got a pretty stacked QB room, and we look pretty dang good. I'm not going to shed any tears over it. But another thing I was going to ask you about, I remember when Curtis Perry came in and all the talk about him, and I haven't heard anything from him in a couple years. Do you think is he just buried in a depth chart, or is he still kind of in there?
Curtis Perry is still in there. He's still in there from a defensive end perspective. He's still in there. And with Kane Womack, the new defensive coordinator, coming over from South Alabama as the head coach, he's bringing this 4-2-5 swarm defense. So the 4-2-5 is going to be 4 down linemen. I think this type of defense, Curtis Perry could actually eat in. He could actually feast in. He could actually be pretty productive in. Now, I know he may not start in this defense, but as one of the first guys coming off the bench, I think Curtis Perry will be able to break that 2-deep rotation.
I'd hope so. I'd hate to lose him because, I mean, just watching him in his high school stuff, I mean, he seems like a monster
at Pike Road High School.
Yes. I mean, because I remember it was kind of a surprise to pull him last minute because if I remember right, didn't he flip from Auburn to Bama?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just kind of like okay. I mean, it had kind of been looking like he may not, but that was a guy that I was excited about. So I really would just want to see him play. I'd like to see him do well at Bama. And then lastly, man, if Ryan Williams doesn't go to Bama, that's going to rip my heart out because I feel like this dude is just playing with my emotions.
Daniel,
back and forth.
You're not the only one, Daniel, who feels this way. A lot of Alabama fans will feel the same way if it does not come to fruition with Ryan Williams, a young man that literally reclassified to come out a year earlier than what he was supposed to, a young man that did everything he could in the state of Alabama high school football, accomplished everything. To me, and I'll explain this more in the second topic, but to me, this is Julio Jones 16 years later. Like we all remember when Julio first came out in 2008 at a Foley High School, and we're like, Nick Saban, you got to get Julio. Like, we got to get him. This would set up the whole run just off getting Julio. And now, 16 years later, it's like, Kalen DeBoer, here's this type of kid again, and Ryan Williams, you got to get him.
Right. And the only thing that, and maybe you know about this more than I do, and I'll hang up and listen and see what you say. Does having such a deep receiver room hurt our chances with Williams, especially with that transfer? And I appreciate everything, Stephen. Thanks.
Appreciate Daniel calling in from Phoenix City. I don't think it hurts because if Ryan's that good, which he is, he can come on campus and take it year one. I mean, it really doesn't matter how deep the receiver room is. If you are that guy, if you are that dude, you can come in and take it year one. Once again, this is a whole new coaching staff. They don't know you from a can of paint. So if you come in and you are that guy, come in and take it. Like, you have a shot to do it right here. Come in here and take it. We're going to take this phone call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Oh, Steven, it's Derek from Omaha, man.
Derek, how we doing, man? How we feeling?
I'm doing good. How's those roads in Tuscaloosa, man? Are they cleared up yet?
I mean, it's getting better, man. It's getting better. A lot of the guys that are committed and staying on with the Crimson Tide, you're seeing them on social media talking about how we're locked in, we're not going anywhere. Guys like Malachi Moore and Tyler Booker, Jalen Milroe, Devontae Smith, so many guys are locked into what Kalen DeBoer is doing, and not just the older guys. The younger guys are now talking about how they're locked in as well. So you got that, and DeBoer has also written the portal and pulled out 3 of his kids from Washington. They're going to be playing with him now in Tuscaloosa.
Oh, I just figured that somebody used the cold weather in Alabama, as an excuse to transfer. But I wanted to talk.
There is the whole situation with Caden Proctor and going back to Iowa, and people are wondering, was tampering involved with Caden Proctor?
Yeah,
because he did talk about in an interview when I was struggling at Alabama. People from Iowa, they called me, they checked up on me. I'm like, this sounds like tampering right here. But I'm not gonna write a letter to the NCAA about that. But this kind of feels like tampering.
I think the NCAA. I think they're aware of that, and I really don't care. He's off the team. He's a soft belly. He's off the team, and I just want to talk about the stupidity of these cats leaving Alabama, transferring to all these dudes transferring to FSU. Isn't FSU going under investigation soon?
Yes, the NCAA is digging in on some things that's going on in Florida State.
And then you got that Justin Sand. I didn't like that cat anyway. He looked kind of cocky. But you got Justin Sand, you got Caleb Downs, and you got that fat boy. That center, Seth, whatever his name is, going to Ohio State. Did they not just hire O'Brien?
They just did hire Bill O'Brien, yes.
You can't be serious. The stupidity of these cats is just off the chain. And then you have old boy who transferred to Texas. I don't even want to give him respect by thinking about his name. Yeah. You see, he's a duffel bag boy. We call him duffel bag boys. You chase that fast dime instead of sticking with that slow nickel. He went up there and got a Lamborghini and stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? And where is his motivation now? You give him a Lamborghini before he even does anything. Now, where is his motivation going to come from now? And it just I'm saying just getting it all out right now. I'm getting it all out right now because I don't want to talk about these cats no more. I want to talk about, the cats that are coming in, and you just wait for the transfer portal to open up for us. I think you're going to see some players from Michigan come in, from Washington come in, because Harbaugh, he's getting ready to go to the NFL. You know what I'm saying? And cats that really want to play with Alabama, but Alabama just didn't have enough scholarship for them, or, wasn't the right fit or whatnot. I think it's going to be a mass incoming of people to Alabama that want to play for Alabama that probably thought they never could play for Alabama. What do you think about that?
Well, the portal, Derek, it opens back up April 15th. So it could be a huge snowball effect, especially if Harbaugh takes back to the NFL, which the LA Chargers, that may be the spot for him. If Harbaugh goes back to the league, then you look at Brian Kelly at LSU. Does Brian Kelly of LSU go to Michigan? If that happens, you may see some LSU players at the portal.
Ooh, I didn't think about that, Steven. I didn't think about that. That's something to think about right there. But no, I just want to get that off my chest.
It's a whole cause and effect snowball drift here, especially if Harbaugh chooses. Now, nothing has come out yet, but if Harbaugh chooses to go back to the league, then you got to look at, Brian Kelly, kind of a Big Ten guy. So if he sees Harbaugh go over the league, does Brian Kelly then, okay, let me go to the Big Ten? Does that happen? If it happens, then LSU's looking like, do we take some players and some players from ours go to the portal? It could be a whole snowball effect if Harbaugh makes his move.
Man, this whole thing has been weird. How many more weeks do we have of this transfer, our transfer system being open? Isn't it like 30 days? Are we like in our second week or something like that?
We're going to our second week, so probably about 20 more days left, 19, 20.
Okay, because I heard you talk about that Williams dude, and I was watching this thing on this YouTube thing on him and stuff, and he was on his way to Texas, I think it is. He was on his way to Texas, but he had all Alabama gear on. Now I know he can change once he's on the plane and whatnot, or once he's in Texas or whatnot, but that just spoke volumes to me that, and just seeing how he was talking about the coaches and the players and how they linked up and everything like that. It just showed a sign that he's probably leaning hard towards Alabama. What do you have to say about that?
I'll say this, Ryan Williams, the 5-star receiver from Saraland High School, South Alabama area, he and his whole family were on campus this past weekend. He and the whole family were on campus for the official visit. And you want to talk about the love that DeBoer and Coach Grubb and Bama's new wide receivers, Coach Jamarcus Shepard, they showed him so much love, and they showed him where he's going to be fitting and used within this offense. And then, of course, you've got Ryan Williams' best friend is Jalen Mbakwe. They're best friends to the hip. And both of these two competed against each other in the Class 6A state championship that was Clay Chalkville versus Saraland. Clay Chalkville won 31-28. And Jalen Mbakwe has been adamant about, I am not letting my friend Ryan get away. Like, he's going to play with me. So Mbakwe has been serious about having Ryan Williams with him in Tuscaloosa.
Oh, sounds good, man. Well, I'm going to let the other callers get on and keep on listening, and you take it easy, right, Stephen, and roll tide.
Appreciate Derek from Omaha calling in here on a Monday. We're going to have this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
This is Kurt from Mississippi.
How we doing, man?
I be doing good, man. I like the hire that we made. I believe he's gonna be a good coach. I believe he's gonna be a good coach.
Yeah.
How many years did he sign for?
How many? Now that's the question right there. I know the Board of Trustees recently have negotiated the contracts with the coaches. I think that news will be officially put out tomorrow. So tomorrow I will have that news of how much he signed for.
That's the question right there.
But everything looking. I think we're gonna be all right. We lost some players, but we're gonna gain some more players. But everything gonna be all right for the Taz.
I think so. You can look at April 15th, the portal reopens back up, and you're going to get some guys that are going to come in that want to play for the University of Alabama. But definitely appreciate my guy calling in right there from Mississippi to the show, giving us his thoughts. We're going to take this call here. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, how's it going, Steven?
Doing good, and yourself?
Hello?
You're live on the show. I can hear you.
Oh, how's it going, man? I'm just Jay Mark, man. I'm actually from Tuscaloosa, but I stay up here in the Buckeye State. So, I'm hearing it about Caleb Downs and whatnot. But, me and this guy at work today, he was arguing about, Ohio State, we got money this and money that. But at the same time, I was telling him, man, we still good. So I just want to tell the Alabama fans, and stop worrying. It's going to be just fine. Nick Saban left us in the best predicament that we can be in. Like, before Nick Saban came, we wasn't, well, it was Mike Schuler, and you know how Mike Schuler left it. So Alabama fans, calm down. We're going to be just fine. Nick Saban left it the best way it could possibly be left. And then not only that, we hired a good, I think a great coach. I mean, we just need to give him a chance, man. And I think we're gonna be pretty good. I like the incoming freshmen that coming in. I also like Malachi Moore saying, make it, and he's gonna be the quarterback for the defense, and teaching the young players, everything that they need to do. Even though it's a new defense, but he still can be that voice. So I'm so glad that he did stay. Ain't no need us crying over, spoiled milk on players that didn't stay and, decided to leave. Like, we going to be good. I promise you, we going to be good. So what you think about the offensive coordinator, and you think he going to be able to bring out the best in not only the receivers, but Jalen Milroe?
No, Ryan Grubb. Nick Saban wanted Ryan Grubb 2 years ago. That's how good he is. Nick Saban wanted Grubb 2 years ago. This is a guy that took Michael Penix Jr. and made him a two-time 4,000-yard quarterback. Like, Ryan Grubb's got some concepts that he's going to bring to this offense that these receivers, the running backs, the quarterbacks, the entire offense as a whole, they're about to really enjoy what Grubb is about to bring to this program.
Exactly. I'm excited. I'm also excited. I know, a lot of people saying we lost a lot on defense, but I'm excited about what we're bringing in, like Williard, Mitzi, and I'm one guy that a lot of people not talking about, but I watched film on him. That Red Morgan, yeah, he's a dog. I really like what he brings to the table.
That guy, that kid plays bigger than what he is.
Yes,
he plays much bigger than what he is.
And you could. Exactly, and you could tell he got that me against the world mentality, just the way he plays. He's ball out. He's all balls to the wall. So I really like it, and I think Jalen Milroe. I think he's going to be. I think this offense is going to fit him well. A lot of people already count him out, but then again, Jalen Milroe, he's a dog. He's a fighter. And he's going to continue to fight, and I think he's going to progress. I mean, he's graduated, right?
Yes.
Okay, so right now, I'm pretty sure he's in the lab right now doing the things that he needs to do. And he knows where he needs to work on and the things that he needs to, get better at. And I think he's going to be good. He's going to lead us. And I still think we're going to be at the top. And I'm saying it right now. I say about at least 2 to 3 years we will win a championship. I guarantee you.
Appreciate the call.
Thank you, Steven, and I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Jaden from Ohio giving us his thoughts here on the show. On a Monday, we grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening, how we feeling, state your name, and where you calling from.
Hey, Steven, it's Tobias out of Phoenix, Arizona. How's it going?
Doing good, Tobias. Doing good, man. How about yourself?
Good. A little cooler in Phoenix, Arizona than it usually is, but other than that, hey, every day above ground is a good day.
Amen to that.
I'll make this quick, right? I think that people have to give this coach a chance. And all these players on the roster still, what's the word on Keon Keeley? How's he doing? How's he feeling about everything? He's been kind of quiet. And I know that's a guy we got to keep in, that talent.
He, as of right now, Tobias, to me, he's still locked in because he hasn't left. He hasn't said anything about leaving. So, to my knowledge, he's still locked in.
Yeah, cause he has a spot right there at one end. That's what I'm thinking. And I think what happens, right, sometimes with these coaching staffs, people have to give it time. Everybody talking about this guy ain't been to the South. Urban Meyer never been to the South when he was at Florida. He's hired the right staff. Nick Saban, they was saying the same thing about him when he took the LSU job.
Right.
And I know people complain about the assistant not being well known, but most assistants aren't well known coordinators. If that was the case, think about this. Chip Kelly became the OC at Oregon. His last job, he got hired from New Hampshire. That's something there. And my last thing, I know you got a lot going on here. I know people talk Ryan Grubb and they talk about Jalen Milroe. Are we sure that he's going to be QB1? Because everybody talk about this Matt kid. I'm thinking about Dylan Lonergan may show something because this is a new staff. And I do believe the position should be open competition everywhere. And we heard good things about Lonergan last year. If he shows out again, he could be the guy, you know. And I just think people got to be open to that. It's no knock against Jalen, but I think it's going to be open because he wasn't their guy, if you get what I'm saying.
Tobias, this is why I'm saying it is so good for this to happen now because Kalen DeBoer and this staff, they have no loyalty to you because they didn't bring you in. So you have to show them that you're the guy. So you have to show them. So if Jalen Milroe's the guy, he has to show DeBoer, Ryan Grubb, and company. This becomes a fair shot across the board. It's any man's game across the board. It's if you are the real cream, you rise to the top now.
Yep. And my last thing, and thanks for taking my call. The one thing that I did criticize Saban for the last couple of years, playing a lot of old guys. You got to put some of the young bucks in sometime if they're outperforming, they're better. And I think with the staff, like you said, they don't have those loyalties. Jalen Hale may be starting, you know.
I'm just saying.
Justice Haynes, Richard Young, these guys going to be getting these snaps because I think that's a good way of recruiting also, especially the transfer portal era. If the young guys are better, you give them a shot because the only way to get experience is by going out doing it. But thanks for taking my call, Steven, man. You have a good one.
Appreciate Tobias calling in from Phoenix City. Well, from Phoenix, calling to the show here on a Monday. Appreciate all of you guys calling in, getting your thoughts here on the show. Continue to hold your calls for the next 10 minutes, or you can call back in the next 10 minutes. Cool call topic here, Eli. This is on one Kalen DeBoer, who is bringing in, or who has brought in a big-time coaching staff. We talk about getting guys that have ties to the South in recruiting, ties to the South in terms of the Southeastern Conference. You bring in Kane Womack, be your defensive coordinator. He played at Arkansas, played fullback there, coached at Ole Miss, was head coach at South Alabama, knows that landscape of recruiting, so it was big bringing Womack in. But you bring in Maurice Linguist, Coach Mo, who coached cornerbacks at Texas A&M, coached safeties at Mississippi State. He was also coaching cornerbacks in the NFL with the Dallas Cowboys. So he's got ties in the South. He's got NFL ties. Coach Mo, that's a big deal there. So you're bringing in coaches with ties to the SEC, coaches with Southern roots to help you speak the language of these young men in the South. Big deal there for one Kalen DeBoer. We're going to go to a break right here, folks. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, we get into the conversation of DeBoer's got a shot to reel in Ryan Williams. The 5-star wide receiver was on campus for his official visit last weekend, and there was a lot of good stuff from it. Can DeBoer finish the deal? We'll talk about it right after this. We're out here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. Oh yeah, oh, man. Gotta get this. Gotta get one of these right here. Can't rock that Bama without this shirt right here, fresh polo. You gotta also rock the all pink, like Kanye West right there. Keychains, gotta get you some keychains. University of Alabama keychains. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard Alabama fan and you're looking for some big-time apparel, this place has got everything. We're talking shirts, shoes, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups, mugs, keychains. If you're just a Tide fan that has an itch to get more apparel, get more swag in your game, you come right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, right here in Midtown Village. And also you can shop online. The link is in the description to get your gear right here at Alumni Hall. We also have new, fresh, exclusive TDA gear you can get right now at Alumni Hall. That's in store or online. Hit that link in the description and search Touchdown Alabama to view all of the available gear. Hurry and get yours before they're sold out.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, people, we're back rocking and rolling into the action from the break. Number one form for your Crimson Tide football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine, rocking it here with you. Continue to hit that thumbs up, hit that like button, smash the like button, hit that subscribe button as well. Make this your spot here for all things Tide football. Daily Super Chat go, $100 daily. Super Chat to go, $100 right there. We appreciate the support from all of you, Bama fans, the Bama family. But topic 2 here, Eli, of the conversation. Kalen DeBoer has a chance to do something that was done previously 16 years ago, and that's bring in the number one receiver in the state of Alabama and arguably the number one player in the country in terms of this recruiting class. When you look at this 2024 recruiting cycle, that young man being Mr. Ryan Williams. And DeBoer is on the verge of bringing Williams in. Now, Williams was initially committed to Alabama, and then, of course, Nick Saban dropped the bombshell on us, him retiring, stepping to the side, which caused for Ryan Williams to decommit or back off his commitment, which that's normal, right? Coach Saban says, hey, I'm retiring. Of course, it's going to cause you to back off your commitment. But Kalen DeBoer has come in here. And over the weekend, Ryan Williams took his official visit to Alabama, brought his whole family. He and the family really, and I mean really, enjoyed themselves, really enjoyed the official visit, really had a phenomenal time. DeBoer and Ryan Grubb and Jamarcus Shepard, they sat Ryan down, went over how he fits in the offense, how the offense works with him in there, like a lot of good stuff, a whole lot of good stuff. So you leave the official visit thinking, and then of course, you know, Ryan got his video made with Roll Tide Willie and Blitz Bama Blitz and all of that right there. So at the end of the day, he left Tuscaloosa very excited. He left Tuscaloosa very pleased with the entire visit there. And not only that, you know, Williams' best friend, Jalen Mbakwe, these two have been close for a long time. These two competed against each other in the Class 6A state championship, the Super 7 at Bryant-Denny. Clay Chalkville got the 31-28 victory over Saraland, but both guys put on a show. Jalen Mbakwe talked about it. I'm not letting Ryan leave. I'm not letting Ryan out of here. Like, he's coming to Tuscaloosa. I'm making sure of that. And Mbakwe has done everything possible as a player recruiter trying to get his good friend to Tuscaloosa. So right now, it just looks like they're about to reel him in. Alabama's about to reel him in. I mean, all Bama has to do is point to, look, Ryan, we put Julio Jones in the NFL draft first round. We put Amari Cooper first round. We put Calvin Ridley first round. We put Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith, Henry Ruggs, Jalen Waddle, Jamison Williams. All of them went first round. And these were all big-time elite receivers. And you, Ryan, are a big-time elite receiver. That's all Bama has to do. If you go back to 2008, a lot of people some didn't quite think, is Nick Saban really the guy? Is Nick Saban really the coach we need? Is Coach Saban really the hire? Is he the one that can get us back to winning national championships? A lot of U.S. fans thought that way. And then Julio Jones from Foley High School, who at that point, number one wide receiver player in the state of Alabama, arguably the number one player in the country, gives his yes to Nick Saban. So a lot of you then thought, well, if Julio trusts him, then let me get with the program. If Julio believes in Saban, then let me get my act together. If Julio is fine with it, but I did be fine with it. And we saw what happened. So here we are again, 16 years later, in the self-same position. You got the number one wide receiver in the state, arguably number one player in the state, possibly number one player in the country, when you look at Ryan Williams. Accomplished everything in high school, sophomore, junior year. Reclassified to come out a year early. If you're Kalen DeBoer, here is your Julio. You got to get him. If you're Kalen DeBoer, here is your Julio Jones. You got to be able to full on finish the deal. But Eli, it just appeared that Ryan had a very good weekend. He enjoyed the official visit. Whole family was there. Alabama rolled the red carpet out for the young man. Jalen Mbakwe doing everything he can to get his best friend to play with him at Alabama. All Ryan's got to do now is make the decision, which his decision is coming February 9th. That's his decision date, February 9th. So that's going to be highly, highly, highly intriguing. But if I had to put my finger on it, I think Bama has done enough to reel this man in. We shall see. We're going to take another break right here, folks. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, we return to the phone lines. We are grabbing your calls. We're taking your conversations. We want to hear from you. Line us up on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere. Coming back.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care. In support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today.
This is Chris Rogers, 2009 national champion. You are listening to the baddest, when I say the baddest, sports show in the state of Alabama. In my own words, you know, yours truly, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Don't touch that dial.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
Touchdown Alabama is a fully independent outlet that covers all things Alabama football. Founded in 2007 when Nick Saban arrived, we have been here through the entire Nick Saban era. In this new era, now is the perfect time to stay up to date on everything Alabama football and know what's going on, including everything that's going on with recruiting. Our website at touchdownalabama.com will always keep you in the know on everything that's going on with the Crimson Tide, and you can also get breaking news notifications with our app. We have over 100,000 followers on Facebook, over 60,000 on Twitter, nearly 30,000 on Instagram, over 30,000 on TikTok, and we're constantly growing. Also, be sure to become a part of this rapidly growing venture and subscribe to touchdownalabama.com to get inside and premium information on the team as well as recruiting inside the state of Alabama. We are constantly adding to our premium subscription package, so be sure to lock in now.
All right, people. We're back rocking and rolling to the action from the break. Number one forum for Crimson Tide football news in my own words. Yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA Alabama, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Got my man Eli Walker in the studio right now, handling that production right there. Gotta show some love to my man Kenny Heathcock. Let's go, Kenny! Got that $5 donation. Dropping the love in there, Kenny, we see you. And then we got my man DP, not Dr. Pepper. We're talking Don Parker with that $5 donation. Don, helping us out here on the show. Let's get that daily super chat to go $100. Daily super chat to go $100 right there. But we go to the phone lines to grab your calls here. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. Number to call in, 205-448-1358. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Stephen. Listen, I want to say I appreciate your work that you put in for us. I'm Bob from Huntsville, Alabama, and as far as Ryan Williams goes, I think that as soon as Isaiah Bond walked out the door, he walked back in it. Because with Ryan Grubb as a coordinator, he ain't got nowhere else to go. And that's all I'm going to say. I appreciate you.
Appreciate the call coming in right there to the show there. A lot of support there for one Ryan Williams, and I know his decision comes on February 9th, but after what he was able to experience on his official visit to Tuscaloosa, I think DeBoer and this staff have done enough, probably more than enough, to land that commitment back from one Ryan Williams. But we're going to continue with calls right here. You're live on the show. Well, I guess no more calls. Appreciate that, Eli. I thought we had a call in there. But Eli, getting everything straight there. But to call in, 205-448-1358. Number to call in, 205-448-1358. As you're getting your thoughts prepared, a call topic, Eli. How about those Detroit Lions? Yes, Detroit in the NFC Championship game. Yes, Detroit. One win away from a Super Bowl appearance. All the Lions had to do was draft some Alabama players, and now you find yourself one win away from the Super Bowl. Like, kudos to Jahmyr Gibbs, Brian Branch, Jamison Williams, and Sean Dion Hamilton from the coaching perspective, because Sean Dion is a defensive assistant on Dan Campbell's staff. That's all the Lions have to do. Draft you some Bama players, have a Bama player be on the defensive coaching staff, and you find yourself one game away from the Super Bowl. Lions defeated the Buccaneers Sunday, NFC Divisional Playoff round, 31-23. Gibbs had a big game. Brian Branch had a big game. Jamison Williams caught 2 passes for 35 yards. So they all contributed. They all contributed to the success there. Kudos to those Detroit Lions, man, in the NFL or in the NFC championship game. We're going to go to our final break here, folks. We'll touch that down. When we get back, we wrap things up with this discussion. What would define success for you as an Alabama fan in Kalen DeBoer's first year? Could we put a number on that? We'll wrap things up with that after this.
I'm Malachi Moore, and you're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith on Touchdown Alabama YouTube channel.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
What's going on? This is Benny Bice. I'm the founder and owner of Touchdown Alabama, and you guys are supporting one of the only independent outlets covering Alabama football today. No other sports, no networks, just Alabama football. Roll Tide Roll.
All right, folks, we're back here in the action from the break. Number one forum for Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Happy to have all of you guys, right? all the donations, the conversations, the phone calls, the discussion. Happy to be a part of this with all of you. Happy to have my man Eli Walker running the production studio right now. Keeping us all, by us all, I'm referring to me, on the train track. Because sometimes I can go off the train track. So thank you, Eli, for keeping me on the train track there. But get into the final discussion here of conversation for tonight's show. Kalen DeBoer, in terms of what would you as an Alabama fan define as success for him year one? And do you put a number, a numerical data with that? Do you do that? I mean, you can't compare him to Coach Saban. There will never be another Nick Saban. Just go ahead and get that out of your mind right now. There will never be another Nick Saban. He has to do this his way. Kalen DeBoer has to do this his way and his style. But what would you define as success in year one? Would you define success for him going 10-2, winning an SEC championship? Would you define success for him, 11-1, conference championship, just making the playoff? If he doesn't win a national championship in year one, is that still success for him? I mean, what would you define as success for Kalen DeBoer in year one? Taking over for the greatest to ever do it in Nick Saban. For me, I would look at 10-2 as a good season. 10-2 SEC championship. I would see that as an exceptional season to me. I mean, 11-1 SEC championship, go to a Sugar Bowl, something like. I mean, I would see that success. But then again, that's just me. That's just me. Now, of course, you have to take into the account the players that were lost to the transfer portal. Now, come April 15th, Alabama can get in that portal and get some players to its own side. It can do that, absolutely. But what would you define as success year one, Kalen DeBoer at Alabama? I think some of this we're going to figure out in the A-Day game. I think a little bit of the behind the scenes we're going to see in the spring game. How will this team look in spring? How will they play together in spring? What will the philosophy be in spring? A lot of this we're going to see in spring football. So I'm looking forward to, middle March to April, spring practice, A-Day. Hopefully Eli then gets us back on the practice field. That's my main thing. It's been 4 years since the first beginning of COVID. Put us back on the field, man. Let's get our practice footage, photos, our video. I mean, Eli, am I asking for too much, man? Am I asking for too much? Just let us return to the practice field, man. Let us return to that freshly cut grass, seeing that pigskin being thrown. Having coaches bark at each other and helmets and pads clanging. All right, okay. I'm just saying. Let's get back to that. Let's get back to seeing that, in full-fledged action. But we'll see. But I think year one of Kalen DeBoer's success can be left up to interpretation. I see it as, hey, at least he can get to an SEC championship and win it. I would see that as success right there. But we'll see how it all, pans out. As always, Bama fans, you want the best news, notes, information, coverage on your favorite program, that being Alabama football. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple. Google Play Store if you got the Android phone. For your audio needs, check us out, iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Google Play, Overcast.fm, iHeartRadio. We got you covered right there. Appreciate you guys. Gotta show some love to you, the Alabama football fans, for all that you do, for all the donations, for all the chatting, for all the conversations. You making this your show, your spot here for all things Bama football. Appreciate all of you guys. Guys, got to show some love to my man, Eli Walker, in the production studio, holding it down right there. And I also got to show some love to my beautiful family who joined me tonight in studio. We can't really pan the camera to them, but they're in studio. My wife Mia is in here. My daughter Mariah is in here checking out the show, live with me. So it's Watch Dad Do His Thing Day. So once again, if we could pan the camera to them, you will be able to see them live. They're on set, but can't quite get the camera there panned. But it's okay. It's okay. They're here. Love both of them dearly, very much. So until next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing too. Not be bored here. Get yourself those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. Protect yourself. You should protect the loved ones around you. Until next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen Smith, and you've been listening to In My Own Words.